Hello, I'm Randolph Miller, and welcome to another segment of Bounce Around Charleston. Well, today I've got a wonderful person with us on today, State Representative Chardale Murray, District 116, and co-owner of Murray's Mortuary. And we're here to talk about what's been happening in the pandemic. Chardale, welcome to Bounce Around Charleston.
Hello, Randolph. How are you?
I am doing wonderful and happy to have you here today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for allowing me to be here today.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about the first responders and all those that have been working in this pandemic so hard, but no one has said anything about the funeral homes, and I'm quite sure you all have been impacted by this pandemic. What you say about that?
Yes, we have. COVID has already created a massive disruption in how we provide care and funeral service. Since 2020, we have seen an increase, but it wasn't as bad. COVID have also affected how our support entities operate, such as the casket company, the vault company, the florist, even down to the headstones. Not only just the regular private headstone company, but also the government headstone. Whereas usually it would normally take 6 to 8 weeks to get a headstone. Now it's up to 6 months because of COVID. We have a shortage in everything. And we have to be so careful because before, when you can plan a service within a week, you're not sure if that service might even happen because the casket company might not even have a driver, even if we do have the merchandise. So it's have affected people emotionally because you have loved ones that's out of town and they're not certain if they'll be able to attend their family member service. Like recently, for example, New York, we have cases where someone passed, and by the time we ship the remains down here, you might have someone else pass, and it could take up to 3 weeks. So we had a lot of double services, multiple services at one time where the whole family has been affected. It's a whole lot going on.
So it appears to me that backorders is a major problem.
Yes, it is. And of course, when you look at the news, you see where we have job loss, unemployment, the kids not in school, some virtual, the shortage of teachers, everything is globally, not only just the funeral industry, everything is just, I think everybody is overwhelmed besides funeral service.
Yes. Okay, you gave an illustration a little while ago, and we've been watching the news, and I know New York, the funeral homes are just backed up. Is it the same way here in the Low Country with the funeral homes?
I don't think we're backed up. Again, it's a shortage with because even though we have COVID, when COVID first came in 2020, mostly elderly people were dying, and we didn't have as many COVID cases. But in the past few months, I noticed an increase, like a rapid increase. I don't know, because of the vaccination and people is not as cautious like before. They were isolated. But most of my cases, it's not even COVID related. I think it's a lot of domestic violence because of the isolation or homicide, things like that. The kids, they're being suffering with depression, probably again not attending school, and we have a lot of overdose in the younger people, fentanyl and opiate, things like that. So I don't want to say that we're back, but we also have to be careful how we handle our clients and our staff, keeping them safe, because I can say that this week I might have 7 funerals, but by Saturday I might have 7 in one day. So I got to make sure my staff is, being staying healthy. So what we do, we're limiting the amount of people that we have come to the funeral home. So we're not on a full scale. So that can play a part. If someone do come in with COVID, then I have a shortage, but because there's only a handful of funeral directors. So I want to say we backed up. It's like it's unpredictable. You know what's going to happen. So that's what. So you don't know if you should move forward or backwards. Everything's at a standstill, technically, in funeral service right now.
And tell me this: how have the services changed because of COVID? Like the attendance?
The services have changed, you know, and it's sad when you see someone loved one out there, and it might just be you and the spouse and the pastor, because their children or grandchildren. And I know you remember the first week of COVID when they weren't allowed essential workers to come in state and things like that. So I have had customers that just them by themselves at the cemetery. So right now, you don't know if you will be able to get a church service because it's limited. I guess it's affecting people mentally because the cemetery, they have rules now that they're restricting the amount of people that attend the funeral. So if you go to a cemetery that doesn't allow the casket to be open, now you got to think about a church you might can use before you have the service.
Have you all had a service where only you all were the attendees at the service?
Yes, we have some graveside service, but that was more in the beginning of COVID. But the second wave was not as bad. That's what I said. So what we're doing now is just limited. We're not at a full scale, but we do have the immediate family members that come to the funeral home before service.
And tell me this: how do you all provide support to the community in situations like this?
Well, we have Crystal Brown and different counselors, additional, to help families that's grieving. You know, they have classes on Saturdays or work around their schedule. So we have from Crystal Haywood and Deidre Moss, she have a consulting group. And sometimes some funeral homes, they have grief counselors come in like 2 days out of the week.
So moving forward, what do you foresee? Will it pick up? Do you think things will ever get back to normal?
I hope things will get back to normal, but there's so much fear and uncertainty right now. Hopefully, what I would like to see, you know, that we have more insurance, like unemployment insurance, due to people being laid off, and we live in unprecedented times here. We just don't know what's going to happen. I would like to see more counselors in the schools. So right now it's affecting the kids, and more people to do pre-need, so it'll be less stressful when they do have someone that passed.
Okay, I was just about to ask that question. What do you recommend families need to start doing at this time?
I think they need to plan, you know, be prepared for the worst, even if things get better, because the cost of living, of course, is going up. The casket, the sales price for going up is like doubling. So if you can, it's better for them to come now and do pre-arrangements at the funeral home. You know, just have something on, at least rider insurance for your child or loved one, something like that.
So you're recommending that families come in and sit down and go through a consultation?
That's correct.
Well, Chardale, we thank you for joining us today, because I know I'm a preacher, and I see all that you all have to do, preparing for funerals at the graveside, outside on the porch, either in the sanctuary, and getting the families ready. And we commend you all for the wonderful work that you're doing.
Yes, sir. And you keep up the good work too.
Well, thank you very much. This is Chardale Murray, District 116 State Representative and co-owner of Murray's Mortuary, sharing with us the news of what's happening with the funeral home business. Thank you again for being on Bounce Around Charleston.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay, you heard it right here. Chardale is recommending that you all come in and sit down for a consultation because it's needed. We'll be right back after this.